This is TWiT. Well, big turnaround for OnlyFans. We are sex positive now. This is just the weirdest story. You may remember OnlyFans, which really I think started as a platform for sex workers to sell direct to their customers. Not sexual acts, but videos, pictures, that kind of thing. Then, because of pressure, it turns out, from the credit card companies and rules changes that were imminent, announced last week, no more porn. You can put tasteful nudes up, but no more explicit content. I mean, there was a hue and a cry. I think somewhat legitimately. I don't have an OnlyFans subscription, but I think somewhat legitimately from sex workers. I don't think sex work should be illegal. I think in many places it's not. From sex workers who said, look, this was a safe way for us to make a living, and all of a sudden we're cut off.
And be in control of our fate and not in the hands of certain bad actors, pimps and such.
Yeah.
Same with the campaign that went after Craigslist and went after other platforms. Mm-hmm. It shoved it back underground.
Yeah, adult content's not going away. And it's not illegal, by the way, in most jurisdictions. But there's still a very big stigma against it. And so
Melissa Jurek is one of the best writers on this. She's on a book leave now, but she's really taught me about this, that air is an important provider of rights.
Yeah.
And so I saw can I say this tweet safely on our air?
Say it, and we'll bleep it if it's problematic.
No. It was just when they took it down, somebody said that they thought that the founder of OnlyFans must have taken it down in a moment of guilt after a moment of rapture, shall we say? Inevitable guilt that one feels.
Yeah, but that's the puritanical point of view, isn't it? That oh my goodness, I'm enjoying this. This must stop. The credit card companies, I think I understand this, don't want to be liable. They did this already to Pornhub because Pornhub was accused of, in a very famous, talk about opinion pieces, very famous opinion piece by Nicholas Kristof in the New York Times, pretty much ended Pornhub because he said there's revenge porn on there, there's non-consensual stuff on there. Credit card companies immediately cut them off, and that was that. And then it's now kind of, I guess, what they're going to do. Somehow, I'm not sure how, OnlyFans has figured out how to get around that. I don't know. I think the credit card companies aren't changing their tunes, so I don't know what they're going to do. Bitcoin. Might be Bitcoin.
Why are the credit card companies, I mean, people use credit cards to buy porn all the time.
Yeah, but when, I don't know.
We wouldn't know anything about that, Stacey. But
I don't know. Okay. That's a legitimate question. Are credit card companies going to decide? They're going to be the new blue laws.
Pressure point. Right. Last week I think we were talking about the Postal Service and how the Comstock, that was the pressure point at which you could bring by the Puritans against sex and other things that were seen as bad. And the credit card companies are just a pressure point. So the Parents Television Council, people like that, can go after them, and they make them nervous about their business. So it's who's going to stand up in favor of porn at a major banking company? They're going to say, okay, we'll.
But there are, I have to say, plenty of sites out there. Scooter X has an explanation.
He does. He says banks now have to ensure that sellers have documented consent as well as age and identity verification.
I think that's a requirement for pornography.
That pressure came in part from this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Legitimately, you don't want underage performers. Maybe that's a problem on. Maybe OnlyFans has decided.
Well, they don't.
We can do this.
They have policies in place to document people, but they're probably not as rigorous. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I just saw a study that said that that 13-year-olds and under know easily how to get around pretty much every restriction on all the platforms.
Well, the UK is going to require identification for the purposes of age, which has a horrible chilling effect.
Yeah, and guess where? Now I think they overturned this, but initially the way you would get this verification is by going to your local pub and showing up with ID, and they would stamp your card. Because they needed local places people could go to verify their ID. I don't know. I think that did not make it into the final version of the law.
Well, let's see here. Age verification law explained. In 2019, they would introduce a new law. So I wonder what happened to the BBC.
I think it did not.
Rob's plan for online pornography age verification system. You're right. That was October 2019.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. As I said, I don't have any OnlyFans accounts. I think platforms like Patreon, I think Patreon also might have some adult content on it.
Oh, yeah.
Platforms like Patreon are fantastic. It's what we use for our Club TWiT. We use their memberful service. I think they're fantastic for people who create content to go directly to their audience. There's no reason why people who create adult content should somehow be eliminated from that group of people arbitrarily. I agree there should be ways to verify consent and verify age. That's obviously something that has to happen. Maybe
I think Tumblr got kicked in the groin, so to speak, when because of its corporate owners, it took down just simply nudity, and Tumblr had a lot of artistic expression that used that, and then suddenly there was a fear about there was a chill on the naked skin there.
It's too bad. I mean, I think it'd be nice if society just kind of accepted that sexuality and nudity is part of life and not something to be eschewed, especially since we celebrate violence in all its forms and fashion.
Well, I think if the issue is stopping kids from
that's
posting,
fine. I agree. That should not be, they've got to prevent that if that's an issue. But maybe it's a big issue. I don't know. I think most of the people on OnlyFans are adults who have decided.
Probably most, but if there are some kids getting on there and doing that, that is.
It's my hope that that's exactly what OnlyFans did is come up with a system to prevent that.
Is there other, there is stuff besides porn on OnlyFans. I've never gone on OnlyFans.
No, in fact. Earlier this year,
trying to not
OnlyFans
be known for porn.
Yeah, they kind of started to really, and there are some big celebrities on OnlyFans. I don't know what they offer. Probably other stuff, but yeah. So anyway, the biggest turnaround in history.